into the design process for this show, it was like a year ago this time, because we had our holiday run of it.
Yeah.
So
like November.
we were
December.
designing it sort of right around this time last year, and we had just done, a few months earlier, we had done Cinderella, and we had sort of gone from that process into Shrek, and then started immediately into Beauty and the Beast. So there were these three really, really specific fantasy and kind of fairy tale stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Beauty and the Beast really qualifies as a fairy tale story, but it certainly
But
is
it's
an iconic
fantasy.
story. And, so that was I remember thinking that was kind of a challenge, because we had gone from Cinderella, which had this very specific kind of aesthetic to it that we had created for this this fantasy, and then we had gone into Shrek, which has so many characters
Yeah.
from everywhere, or from various source material, and then when we started Beauty and the Beast, I was like, I have to think of yet another way to sort of illustrate a fairy tale, but make it kind of unique and specific. So I think that certainly those are three different directors. So
Because you can't have it resembling Shrek.
Right,
in any
exactly.
way.
Exactly.
Okay.
So fortunately there were three different directors for that show, so three different places they were coming from in terms of the visuals that they were kind of attracted to, and the things that they were responding to that I was giving them. But getting into I always start listening to the music of the show, because certainly you want to have the visuals in some way relate to the music that you're hearing, so that it all kind of feels cohesive. So because each of those shows has their own sort of distinct style, that's kind of where I started, and then from there we go into research and. So we'll have a kickoff meeting where we talk about, where the director will talk about what the themes are that he's interested in exploring, he or she, and then from that point we just kind of start batting around ideas. The costume and set, we're sort of the ones who work the furthest ahead. We'll work on we'll work independently on ideas, but sort of check in with one another, like a lot of times via the director. It's interesting, because everyone's always asking me about process, and it's not always a nice tidy little sort of thing. Sometimes it's communication is really the only way to sort of stay on track with everybody.
So if you have a set with a lot of big ball gowns, and ladies who have to come through faux openings indoors, are you?
That's always one of the things you have to keep in mind, and it's a lot of times it's less sort of the size of door openings, but it's more the height of stairs and things like that.
Okay.
So you certainly don't want to watch
Especially
people
when you're dealing with Eric.
Because he's tall.
What is he?
I don't think I've ever seen Eric in a ball gown on stage.
No. But I mean, he was in the Shrek outfit, which
That's true.
added some height to it. Sure.
But he's a sport too, so he's.
Have you had a favorite show so far in terms of your work on the scenic design?
Well, it's interesting, and I think last summer we did a lot of really fun stuff on stage, and, because the shows that I designed that were down here were Shrek and In the Heights, and I think those two, So those shows, they were both sort of exciting and dynamic and colorful, but in really different ways.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. I came from New York. I moved here from New York, from Washington Heights, so it was kind of an interesting sort of merging of worlds to put my old neighborhood on stage, so that's kind of fun.